Hey guys, it's Spitchelsy here, and welcome to episode 45 of the Berlin Dynamo series. As you can tell by today's title, we are going to be trying out a bit of a different tactic. So, I've been doing some exploring and wanted to find a more defensively solid tactic, and I think we might be onto something with this one. It's not too flashy, and it's very much defensively minded. However, I think it's going to be more beneficial for us next season and the season after compared to this season, if that makes sense. Obviously, I've only started recently using it. I've used it for the last two games. Mixed results. First game was not so good. We'll go into that in a second. Second game, much better. But it's 5 at the back. Anyway, first things first, we'll go through the recent transfers. We'll go through ins and outs. Outs are not too many. We got rid of Obafemi. He went for a free to Salford. Kleinson went to Elversberg for 200,000. Unfortunately, Kamira went to Schalke. That was only for 1.2 mil up front, a possible 4.1 mil with appearances and goals and all that kind of rubbish. I had a 2.2 mil up front and a 2.2 mil over, it was maybe 24 months. It was either 12 or 24 months, one of the two. And I think that was to Gladbach. And unfortunately, Schalke came in with that offer because it was 4.1 mil total value. The board accepted it on our behalf, which was really annoying. So we essentially lost a bit of money there. It's, a measly 1.2 mil when it could have realistically been a lot more, plus that additional money over the course of another year or two, which would have been good. Anyway, we let a youth player go to a regional league club. De Jong went to Jeju United in the Korean second division. He went on loan. Actually not doing too badly. He's only started one game so far. But yeah, slightly improving, which is good. And then final player, Krolo, was sold to a Croatian club for 275,000. Anyway, the ins. Quite a lot of ins. Of course, we had David Molina signed on a free transfer, pretty much a pre-contract starting in January. Low wages, good player. I tried to loan him out. I wanted to loan him out of the club because, albeit the new tactic uses 3 centre-backs, I feel like we're very well equipped in that, or we've got good depth in that position. The next player was Marco Mera, who actually is kind of good for the new tactic as well, because we play with advanced inside forwards, which is very... it's something I'm very familiar with from past FMs. We haven't really used them too much for this FM. I tried to use them at the very beginning of this series, and then obviously the beta series I had with Portsmouth, I used them in that a lot prior to the beta finishing in, tactics being changed, and the match engine being tweaked as well. So he's pretty good. He is only right-footed, so I might try and work on things. Some of his player traits are probably more suited to being his natural position, which is centre mid, which I don't really feel like he's as good as he is out wide, potentially cutting in. He could be a decent winger there as well, but not a bad player to have, especially on a free. We then signed João Rodrigues as well from Infesta, which is a Portuguese club. He was on a non-contract, very good 22-year-old. He's a defensive midfielder, but he can't really play. I mean, he can kind of play Segundo Volante, which is one of the 2 defensive mid positions we have. However, he's lacking in passing, he's lacking in finishing, lacking in his pace as well. He is a big boy though, 195 centimeters, which I believe is about 6'4", 6'5". So he's a big boy. I'm retraining him to play at centre back at the moment, but he is currently injured with a broken ankle for 3 months. So a bit frustrating. We then brought in Oli Pettifer from Liverpool. This one was only 75,000. his contract was running out, but I didn't really want to miss out on him. I feel like even at 22 years old, he's got a little bit of potential. 1.5 stars left to go. Model citizen personality, and he's got good determination there as well. It was more signed for the previous tactic, the 4-4-2, as the sort of less left-sided centre back. But unfortunately, we've changed tactics. I've got him training, I believe, as a ball-playing defender, which is what we're going to be playing with our centre backs in this new tactic. The next player I signed, Ryan Clayton, 235,000 from Cambridge United. Just another Englishman. This one a goalkeeper. I mentioned the goalkeeper position being one that I really wanted to try and improve. I feel like he's better than everyone we have at the moment, but he's also still kind of lacking a little bit. He was expensive. 235k for us is sort of breaking the bank. 7.25k per week on wages as well. But I feel like him being English is probably going to have a decent value once we get into the Bundesliga. So I kind of assume that we'll be able to sell him on in the future. And the final player I bought was Frank Traore from ASEC Mimosas in the Ivory Coast. He's a left wing back, can play left wing as well. 180 centimeters, so not a small sort of wing back, which I do like. But yeah, he's defensively solid. He's got good physicals, really, really good mentals. If his teamwork was higher, I'd probably make him the new captain of the club. He's only 22 years old. 275k is decent. I believe that was his release clause. He's only on 2.6k per week in wages. And another thing to mention is, where is he? Duarte. So Duarte his loan was terminated by Benfica because essentially his natural position is wing back left, and that was our negotiation for where he would play his preferred position. Obviously, I've been playing him further back, and I would still be playing him in that further back position. Very frustrating because I would have loved to have sort of kept both of them. I think it would have been beneficial. He's also either-footed, so if I started playing him even at right back, that would have been massive. Honestly, I think we were paying like 60 per week. 60 per week. Like 10% of his wages, which was nothing. Such a good transfer. Albeit it was only for about 6, maybe 7 months, but it is what it is. Anyway, league table quick. I'll move the face cam down the bottom there. We're currently in 7th place. We've got a game in hand over a few clubs above us. We can get on to 30 points at the moment with a win in this first game, which would arguably take us above... let me have a look at goal difference, actually. Yeah, it would take us above Hertha Berlin, which is, it's decent. It's in 4th position, so be important to win. Holstein, Kiel could, they could go above us anyway, so maybe 5th is sort of what we're looking at. Anyway, I'll move that back up the top. Recent fixtures, of course, last episode. Where were we? We were, I think it was Hamburg and Holstein, Kiel. Pretty sure it was the double loss, because I remember being very, very disheartened in last episode. We finished the season, or the half mid-season break, with a 4-4 draw against Paderborn. Very, very strange game. Very, very frustrating game. And you can probably understand why I've wanted to go for a more defensive tactic. Our backline in this game was shocking. Shocking. Terrible performances across the board. Nikolic, the goalkeeper, you know why I wanted to buy a new goalkeeper. 6 match rating, 4 shots on target, and we conceded 4 goals. I was absolutely livid. I'm so happy that the mid-season break was at this point. Otherwise, I probably would have had to leave the computer. Anyway, we got Dantas on our score sheet. Pavicic, he got 2 goals for himself, and then Gel in the 92nd minute getting us the equaliser, and we had double the amount of shots on target. Very frustrating. We then had our mid-season break, like I said, a few friendlies, 3-3 draw with Dresden, 2-1 loss to Union Berlin, frustrating, a 1-1 draw with Chemnitzer, and then a 6-0 win against Bitterfeld. Then we returned to Bundesliga action. Eintracht Braunschweig, one of our sort of bogey clubs. We either lose or we win. I don't think we ever really draw against them. And as you can see in this one, we missed a penalty in the 3rd minute. This was our first game with this new tactic. Again, not so convincing. Not so convincing. But you see 22nd minute goal there for Braunschweig. As you can see by the stats, they had a 0.13 XG rating. You can see by the table here, they got the goal and it literally plateaued the entire game. We had some opportunities, especially early on with that penalty. Didn't really do anything else. We had a few chances around this period here. But, you know, it wasn't really doing too much. But you look at the stats. So, not as much possession, fair enough. 10 shots is good. Not great. 4 on target, fair enough. We didn't score. It is what it is. But we go into the next game against Jan Regensburg, away from home as well. And we pick up a 2-0 victory. And this one looked a little bit more convincing. It was a little bit better of a performance. As you can see, 0.33 XG there for Regensburg. So still on the very low side, which I like. Ours, 7 shots, 4 on target, 0.76. As you can see, we literally did nothing in the first half. And then we started to get into the game. Got our first goal in the 72nd minute with Barry, and then the 85th minute there with Jabali. And I played Jabali as the inside forward, which was an okay sort of match rating for him. As you can see, 7.7 there. But yeah, Dantas in midfield with the first assist for Barry. Shiloh randomly brought in to cover that sort of ball-playing defender. I think it's cover role in the main central defender. And then Clayton with the 7.4. It looked a lot better. It looked a lot more solid defensively. And that's pretty much what the tactic is. So I'll show you the tactic here in a little bit more depth. I'm going to go with Jabali up top today. Barry's going to be on the left wing. Pavicic on the right wing. Senhaji as a Volante. Segundo Volante in defensive midfield. Dantas is going to be a deep line playmaker in defensive midfield. And then the back line. So we got complete wing back on the left, complete wing back on the right. Going to go with Traore, the new signing there. Romero is going to stay as our right wing back on that side. I did play Naranjo last game. You might have noticed, but I'm going to go with Collins. We did promise to play him a little bit more. Same thing with Jabali, so I don't want them to sort of get upset. I would like to try and avoid that if we can. Shiloh was impressive last game. Mateus, you know, he's just a good player in general, especially as a ball-playing defender. He could actually play as the Segundo Volante as well. It's a possibility. And then we got Clayton in goals as well. Imputhi is another player that we either need to play or he's going to get really upset and kick up a stink. So we've got some issues there. Anyway, Mbala misses out at the moment. Doesn't really suit the inside forward position at all, if I'm being honest. So I don't know what I'm going to do with one of my favourites. I don't really know. Do we keep him? He can play there. Don't get me wrong. It's just the 5 finishing. It's a bit of an issue. He's got pretty bad long shots as well. I mean, his pace and stuff still, you know, warrants him getting in dangerous positions and stuff like that. I did play Pettifer. He played terribly. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see how he goes as well. He's definitely not suited to the ball-playing defender role. Yeah, it looks a lot more solid defensively. We're not really giving up opportunities like we were when we were playing with the 4-4-2. So, yeah. We'll see how it does. We're playing Bochum. They're a good side. I would love to
at least have a good result. We don't need to win, but I don't really want to lose as well, if that makes sense. Looks like they're kind of playing 5 at the back as well. Romero with an absolutely random throw to nobody. Strange one. Bockham getting into the midfield. They got Troy Parrott as well. Good player. Ooh, that was a sliding tackle. I think that's offside. Definitely offside. Jabali's also picked up a knock early. I might just take him off for Gel. I think I was looking at the stats before, and Gel has like one of the best conversion rates. I think he's like 3rd or 4th in the league at the moment. Really random, but thought that was interesting. So, you know, when he gets an opportunity, he usually scores. He honestly hasn't scored that many goals, so it's a bit of a weird thing. It's a weird stat. I mean, this tactic, it's defensively solid, but it's also very boring. But at the end of the day, if it's getting us results, that's the most important thing. I've noticed that happens a lot with the tactic. I don't know if it's maybe the level of familiarity. It's always a hard word to say. Anyway, Gel into Romero. That's a nice goal for Senhaji. That Segundo Volante, that's pretty much what that role is. It's like a deep-lying box-to-box midfielder where you have really late runs into the box. But we're 1-0 up. Gotta say, we're looking good so far. Haslak is a good player. Barry steals the ball. He's going to give it up again. That's really frustrating. Barry's got some speed, but that dribbling, it's sort of letting him down. And he has good dribbling as well. Oh, Zhao steals it. He's got a little bit of pace, but nothing special. And he blasts it over. Got to say, Barry's been disappointing. All right, we are winning, so I'm not going to be sort of too disappointed, but he's on a 6.5. I might get Hendricks on. Also worth mentioning, you know, we have actually signed quite a few new players, so we maybe need to give them a little bit of a break and hopefully let them sort of embed themselves into the team. That was an unfortunate chance to give up, and honestly, I believe Parrott should be doing better there. All right, we win the ball back all the way back to Collins into Shiloh, who waits on the ball, gives it away, and they're breaking forward. And that's unlucky. That's a sick goal from Parrott. Was it sort of like hit our defender, bounced up? It was a good tackle by Collins. But yeah, bounced up. Yeah, I expect more from Shiloh. I expect more. He's actually played pretty good. And that was terrible. I'm going to make some subs here. Barry's going to come off for Hendricks. And then maybe Perea? We'll go Mera. The new Colombian signing. Maybe Naranjo. I want to say Collins, but you know, we'll do Shiloh. Purely for the fact that was absolutely woeful at the back there. Bockham, they're moving the ball pretty well. I feel like we're trying to close down a lot, but we're just not getting to the ball quick enough. All right. They're going to shoot from range. Pretty close, but honestly, I think Clayton could have saved that. All right, I'm just going to encourage him as well. See if it'll hopefully ignite them a little bit and get them at least maybe, not fired up, but at least thinking that they can go out there and do something and score a goal potentially. I mean, it's looking pretty bleak at the moment. Going to finish a 1-1 draw by the looks of it. Unless we concede here. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is beyond frustrating. I don't know. I don't know what I can do there. I don't know. 96th minute. Honestly, like Football Manager at the moment, that's happening way too often. Way too often. Anyway, I can't be too downtrodden. For the most part, I mean, you look at that game, right? Charlo gave the ball away. That was the mistake that cost us the goal. Fair enough. Everything else looked okay, except up until the very after 1 minute of the additional time that was originally added. Anyway, I'll join you guys back. We're going to have a big derby here against Dynamo Dresden as well for this episode. It's going to be a home game as well, so hopefully we can get the win. Alright, so hopefully we can have a better game here in the derby against Dresden. As far as the team goes, I brought Naranjo in for Collins. His average rating's been pretty terrible. I know Shiloh messed up in the last game, but at this point, it's either him or Collins, and unfortunately Collins is just performing worse at the moment, so he'll miss out. I might actually go with Hendricks here instead of Barry. Actually, disregard. We'll go with Barry. I'll stick with him. Jabali's lacking a little bit of match fitness. Of course, he didn't really play last game, so we'll pretty much stick with the same team apart from Naranjo, and hopefully they can actually go out there. It's frustrating that we did concede 2 goals because, like I said, this is the tactic that I want to use, and hopefully it's more defensively solid. But we still conceded 2 goals last game. It's not really. Doesn't feel like it's working, but it's early days, and it's frustrating a little bit. And I have to think, you implement a new tactic. You've either got to stick with it or go back to what you know. We almost concede from the kickoff there. Luckily, we don't. But I feel like a tactic needs at least sort of 8 to 10 games. So 2 months, 2.5 months for it to really be implemented for the level of familiarity to be at a high enough level, if that makes sense. Another thing I did notice is we are starting to slowly fall down the ladder a bit. We're in 10th position as of going into this game as the draw currently stands. But we are playing slightly better than Dynamo Dresden today, which is good. Dominating possession against them. They're using a 4-2-3 or a 4-3-3, which is interesting because we sort of got dominated with that last game, whereas we're dominating them sort of today. We're sort of playing better, if that makes sense. They've had 2 shots, 1 on target. We've had 6, 2 on target. Not very clinical. And in saying that, I might actually bring Korea on. And then, Barry, I don't know. He's not playing well. He's just not playing well. So I'll get those 2 out there. Hendricks is going to come on as well. I mean, hopefully we can do something. That'd be nice. They've got a highlight, long throw. It's going to be a penalty. I honestly don't know with this game sometimes. It's really testing my patience. It's really testing it. A 96th minute winner, and we give away a penalty against the runner play. I don't know. It's Football Manager at the moment. You just got to take it. You've just got to take it sometimes. You can't win every game. At the moment, it feels like I can't win any games. So it almost feels like the game is against me at this point. I'm going to go attacking. We'll go attacking, demand more. I don't know if it's really going to do anything. We are going to have possession here. Traore into midfield. Dantas. Shiloh. Naranjo to Romero. Inside to Dantas. They've got a bit of a defensive sort of wall going on. Havicic to Perea, and that's a save. That should have been a goal. That should have been our equaliser right there. And it looks like we're going to lose another game. Okay. So yeah, today's episode, defensively solid, question mark? I think we've definitely answered that question because we are not defensively solid whatsoever. I want to see who gave away that penalty. Can we go back? Hold on, that's not what I wanted to do. Let me pause it there. Who gave it away? Was it Senhaji? It was. Who's that one? Korea. It was Senhaji that gave it away though. And he's still got a 7.1. So make of that what you will. I don't know. It is what it is, I guess. It's just piss poor, to be honest. I don't know. At this point in time, we've lost another 2 games on camera, and I'm feeling like things are really just not doing well. Losing a derby as well in that manner at home. There's got to be pressure. We are so close to the relegation zone now. That win brought Dresden up to 24 points. We're currently on 27. I'm almost starting to think I should go back to the 4-4-2. We had better results with it. I mean, we were getting blown out some games, but other games we were actually winning. So, yeah. And we've actually got Darmstadt up next, who are currently 2nd in the league and look like they're potentially going to get promoted. It's looking rough. It's looking very, very rough. Their centre-back was man of the match. So, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I want to stick with it because even that loss just there, it was a penalty. It was a bullshit penalty. I'm going to stick with this tactic. I feel like I have to at least give it a little bit of time. I think by the next episode, if I'm still using it, obviously things have turned around. If I'm no longer using it, we might be in a bit of trouble. But yeah, hope you enjoyed today's episode, tactic testing. Gotta love it in the middle of the season. Drop a like. I'm feeling a bit more positive compared to last episode with the double loss. This one's very similar. We lost by 1 goal in each of the games. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like literally the 96-minute winner, it's bullshit. Shouldn't have happened. Shiloh giving the ball away in that manner, also ridiculous goal to concede. The penalty against Dresden, should not be giving a penalty away in that position. We were the better team. We didn't score, which is frustrating. If we'd scored, I'd be like, okay, we take a draw. It's a bit more fair. So be it. But yeah, make sure you subscribe to the channel, guys. We're I'm hoping by now, because it's pre-recorded a little bit in advance, that we're at 2,000 subscribers. It's been a goal of mine for a long time. So yeah, make sure you subscribe. I know a lot of you watch the videos and you are not subscribed. So please hit the sub button. Turn on the bell notifications as well if you want to be notified. And apart from that, guys, as always, take it easy and goodbye.